Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Always.
Awesome. So today we're tackling a true legend, Richard Pryor.
Ah, comedic force of nature.
Right, but we're not just going to list off his achievements, right?
hmm
We're going deeper. We want to see how his life, with all its ups and downs, fed into his comedy.
Because with Pryor, the personal and the professional, they're inseparable.
Totally. We're talking about a guy who, grew up in a brothel, set himself on fire.
And made us laugh about it.
Exactly. That's the
Yep.
power of Pryor. So where do we even begin with a life this wild?
Well, gotta start somewhere, right? Born in Peoria, Illinois, December 1st, 1940, Richard Franklin Lennox, Thomas Pryor III.
Whoa, that's a mouthful.
Yeah, but even his name hints at a certain complexity.
True, true. But okay, imagine this. Your grandma runs a brothel, and that's your childhood home.
It's not exactly Leave It to Beaver, is it?
Not at all. I mean, what does that do to a kid's sense of normal?
I think it cultivates a unique perspective, to say the least. It forces you to see the world differently.
And maybe to find humor in the darkest corners of it.
Right. When the world around you is already absurd, maybe you learn to embrace that absurdity.
It almost makes you wonder if a normal upbringing would lead to the same Richard Pryor.
Hard to say, right? Nature versus nurture and all that. But what we do know is that early on, Pryor's stand-up was pretty clean cut.
Yeah, I've heard that, like Bill Cosby vibes.
Exactly. But then there's this story, almost legendary. Pryor's on stage doing his routine, and he just stops.
Wait, like mid-joke.
Pretty much. He realizes he's being inauthentic. It's not him. So he walks off.
Whoa, that's a bold move. Imagine the guts that takes.
Total commitment to his art. And when he came back, it was a whole new Pryor, the raw, unfiltered one we celebrate.
This was the 70s, right? A time of huge social change, upheaval.
And Pryor's comedy became a reflection of that. He tackled everything head on: race, addiction, relationships.
No topic was off limits. It was like he was holding up a mirror to society, but a funny mirror.
And a brutally honest one. He wasn't afraid to make people uncomfortable.
Like that story about him setting himself on fire while freebasing cocaine.
Oh, yeah. Dark, dangerous. But he finds the humor in it. That's classic Pryor.
He even has that line, right? Of running down the street like a matchstick and someone asking what he's doing, and he says, learning to stop, drop, and roll.
Only he could pull that off. Turn something so tragic into something we can laugh at, nervously maybe, but still.
It's like he was saying, life's messed up, but we can choose to laugh at the mess.
Absolutely. And his personal life, well, that was messy too. 6 marriages, 5 different women.
Speaks to a certain
Intensity, right?
passionate, maybe a bit turbulent.
Mhm.
But again, he mined it for comedy gold.
His honesty was disarming. And even with his addiction, there's that dark humor. I'm not addicted to cocaine, I just like the way it smells.
He was self-aware, even when he was probably in denial.
Oh.
But he let us in on the joke.
Which brings us to his film career. I mean, some hits, some misses.
But his charisma, that was undeniable.
Silver Streak with Gene Wilder. Comedic Gold. Their chemistry was perfect. Wilder, the straight man, to Pryor's unpredictable energy.
A classic duo. But what really sets Pryor apart, I think, is his vulnerability. Talking about multiple sclerosis later in life.
He didn't hide from it. He brought it on stage, made us laugh at something many people find scary.
And that line, I have MS gaze, it stands for more shit. Classic Pryor. Finding humor even in illness.
He humanized MS, helped destigmatize it. That's part of his legacy.
He passed away in 2005, but his impact is still huge. He broke boundaries, paved the way for so many comedians.
And showed us that humor can be a tool for social commentary, for personal reflection, even for healing.
So I guess the question is, who's carrying that torch today? Who's making us think, laugh, and maybe squirm a little all at once? Richard Pryor showed us that laughter can be found anywhere if you're brave enough to look.